Hey guys, this is Tanner with Balcones Fitness. I know that this video is intended to go along with an article, but we're going to kind of talk our way through the article. The first thing we're talking about is sort of hip dominance when squatting. We've run into a lot of people lately, including myself, that are having some really tough hip issues when we get down into a parallel squat. We tend to be dominant on the front side of our legs, so the quads. We're not really good at engaging our glutes. One of the most common signs of hip and sort of quad dominance on the squat is knees collapsing in. So you get to the bottom, when you try to get out of your squat, usually doesn't happen in an air squat, but when you have weight on your back, you engage the adductors here on the inside of the legs, and your knees collapse in as you come out. The adductors are a really strong muscle group. They do help to extend the hips, but they sort of counteract what your abs are doing, and it's going to tug on your pelvis. So we want to talk today about some movements that you can do to improve your glute function, so your hips hopefully don't bother you as much when you're doing all of the squatting that we tend to do here at the gym. I want to show you a few different exercises we can use to get your glutes activated and firing properly so we're not injuring our hips. All right, the first, and one of probably my most favorite, just as a warm-up, is called an X-band walk. Some people call them monster walks as well. So you're going to get a small band like so. You're going to step in the middle of the band, then twist, making an X. If you have a thicker band, something thicker than this, you may not necessarily have to twist it. From there, we're going to walk laterally, keeping our knees slightly bent, out, under control, okay? Maybe 3 sets of 10 to 15 per side works really well for that. Focus on your posture on this too, keeping the shoulders back and down. Don't let yourself be pulled forward. The second is what we call a hip circle. We're going to use a smaller band. You can find these at like Dick's or Academy. Additionally, we can wrap the stretch bands into 2, and it works similarly. All right. We're going to step into it. It's a little bit awkward to get into. We're going to wrap it just around the top of our knees. Set our feet up, all right, and squat. It's going to make us force our knees out and engage our glute medius as we stand, all right? Call it a hip circle. We can add weight to the squat while we're doing that. Don't add any weight that is excessive, maybe greater than 80% of your 1 rep max, because then you're going to run into some safety issues. They make these in varying thicknesses, varying tensions, so find something that works for you. There's another 2 things that we can do called glute bridge and then hip thrust as well. They're going to be very similar exercises. Glute bridge, you're going to lay down, bring your butt up off the ground. We can do them as single leg or double leg. All right, 1 leg out, 1 leg out. Okay, that's going to force us to engage our hips. The last movement is the hip thrust. Start seated on the ground. You may have some plates on there. We're going to have our shoulders back here on the bench, and we're going to push our way up. We're going to have our shoulders back here on the bench. We're going to push our way up. Here, squeezing the glutes. You'll feel a lot of tension at the top. Coming back down and up. All right. As you add more weight to this movement, you're going to want to use a bar pad. It's probably the only time I'll ever tell you that, but it's going to really dig in on your hips, so you're going to want a pad there. Those are our 4 different exercises that we can use to increase our glute activation and allow you to be a better squatter.